All right, if you're here to look at how you can actually build out your voice agents, this masterclass is for you. I had Ben join us on a call. He broke everything down. He is absolutely taking over around Australia in his space doing this. And so if you want to check that out, make sure you're watching this video as we talk about voice agents with HighLevel. Now let's go into our sponsor, which is HL Pro Tools. They are amazing guys. They help our agency. They help many other agencies. And so if you're looking for help in your HighLevel, these guys are someone that you want to talk to and connect with. Now, if you click on the link below, it's going to take you through to their site. And the best bit is if you decide to partner with them, I get a bit of a kickback and it doesn't affect you at all. Let's jump in. Ben has been part of this group for so long, as you all know, continues to show up like all of you, shows and shares knowledge like an open book, literally an open book. He shared a book that he recommended last time we're on a call, and then I forgot that I actually bought that book last time he mentioned it, so I sent him through a photo of that. So he's always open to sharing stuff. I even had a nice conversation with someone just before, and they said that they connected with Ben and that was really refreshing, having to be able to connect to someone that's knowledgeable in this space. So Ben's always giving his time and giving advice and sharing things that he sees or has experience working. And so today, Ben's joining us to talk about the voice agents and what he's been doing to get some runs on the board and work in the space that he's focused on, which is body repair, isn't it, Ben? That you mainly
essentially, yeah, smash repairs, yeah.
Smash repairs. And so Ben's going to talk about what that process looks like in a bit more detail. I'm going to give him the floor. If you've got any questions, drop it in the chat and I'll just help manage that. If Ben wants to stop for questions as they're coming through, we can. Otherwise, I'll just keep an eye on them to the end and I'll just make sure they're all answered.
Cool.
Right?
Perfect. So I might kick off just by asking you if there was anything in particular you wanted to get out of today, just pop it into the chat for me. So I can try and cover it if there was something specific. And otherwise, I'm just going to go through a bit of my process and what I do, or how we sell voice AI. Cool. So Brett said getting past the stigma of AI with business owners. Jarryd says how to look at approaching hesitant people to voice AI. Excellent. Yeah, and keep putting them in there, gang, as you want. How I'm packaging it for Tim. Thank you, Tim. Awesome. We'll go through that. That has changed a few times. Guardrails for Brett. I'm assuming you mean the actual voice AI guardrails, setting that up. Keep adding them in there. What do you want to get out of today? Managing the bundle applications. Yeah, that's fun, but we'll come to that. We've actually got a really easy process for that now, Fred, so which is good news. What I learned from the mistakes we're still making. My team, excellent. Will this include chatbots? Yes, we always have chatbots as part of what we do. So yes. All right, cool. So I made a presentation with AI, so apologies if it sucks. Funnily enough, I've been in the last week just refining our sales processes. I did hire a new salesperson as we're scaling. And so it's given me a bit of an insight, but also had given AI a fairly good insight into the whole process. So I said, turn this into a 10-slide presentation. So that's what it's done. So I'm going to share my screen if that's all right. But you can ask questions anytime. I'll probably go off script a lot, but that's just how I roll. And I'm happy to share whatever I can with you. And I'll try and cover as much as I can of what you want out of the session so I can make sure you get good value. Let me try and move this bar out of the way. There we go. Cool. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. All right. So the first thing, one of the things I find with, and it's not just HighLevel, it's any software, is people get really excited about the software and they try and sell the software. And I've been in sales for a long time. In fact, my very first, I was a panel beater when I left school, and then I spent the next year going through as many jobs as there were months. I don't know if anyone's done that before, but I had 12 jobs in 12 months or maybe more than that. But one of those jobs was for a company called Grace Brothers. Now, if you're young like, Jarryd is, he probably doesn't know who that is. Jay probably knows who Grace Brothers is. Anyway, so one of those was Grace Brothers. And Grace Brothers had a division which was like a home improvements division, and I got hired as a telemarketer. And that was my first introduction to sales. I did pretty much every shift they had available, and we were selling home cladding. And so they taught us, how to start a conversation. They gave us scripts, they gave us training. And it was about 25 of us in a room on phones. And that's what we do. We just sit there. We had KPIs of how many people per hour we had to ring and how many appointments we had to book. But the whole thing was that we never really, like, all the training, and it really sticks me to this day. I mean, I was younger than 20. None of the training was about the cladding. It was all about the appearance of the house, how they felt about their house, the street appeal of their house. It was all to do with the person's emotions rather than the actual product. And then the price didn't become an issue then, right? So over my years of learning how to sell, I went from there. I actually sold vacuum cleaners. Don't hold it against me, but I sold Kirby vacuum cleaners. That was one of the jobs that I had in that 12 months. And I sold $2,500 vacuums in 3 months. And I was like, I didn't know that was one of their leading salespeople. They made me a team leader within 8 weeks. Can you imagine that? This little pimply, teenage guy leading a team of adults selling vacuum cleaners. Jay did the same thing. But once again, it taught me a lot about process, right? So having a good sales process, because with Kirby, that's what they do. They actually just teach you it's rote learning, right? They teach you a step-by-step process that works. And once again, no one in their right mind is going to buy a vacuum cleaner for $2,500. But what they did buy is they bought all the outcome. Yeah, door to door. So door to door. And I literally got chased down the road in my suit with a Kirby vacuum cleaner behind me like a trailer, from people, because the way they used to sell them was not very ethical. I've learned since, right? But it was one of my first sales jobs. But the reason I tell you that is because they were so system processed that they're the two things that stayed with me from those two first roles I had. One was you don't sell the product, you sell the outcome. And the second thing is have a system or a process that's consistent, because otherwise you can't measure what works and what doesn't works. You bought it from me, did you, Jarryd? So no one wakes up wanting voice AI. So you've got to work out with your target market, what is the key issue they're faced with. And I don't even mention anything to do with a CRM, with anything else, any other feature when I first start the conversation with somebody. I'll show you our ad library in a second in Facebook, so you can see what ads we're running. We're only running 2 at the moment that are working. We get leads of people putting their details into a form for a demo for about $30 Australian. Okay, so that gives you an idea. We typically need to get about 10 of those leads to get a demo. So we're paying about $300 for a demo, and then we're converting usually 25%, so 1 in 4. So, we're paying for a customer anywhere around $1,000 to $1,200 from that marketing. And that's just, to me, that's okay, because our average value sale or lifetime value of a client is, much greater than that. And you've got to decide how much you're prepared to pay for a customer. And we're working on making that so we're paying less, but you've got to, that just gives you a realistic expectation. Don't think you're going to go and get leads for $5 each. Now we're dealing with a very sort of cautious market. And that was the other thing I'll say. Depending on your niche, think about your market and who they are. If you had nothing to do with personality profiling before, there's 4 key personality types: D, I, S, and C. The market I deal with are S type. So they're stable, compliant type people, very slow moving, steady. They need to see a lot of proof. And they need to make the decision in their own time, right? Some industries those fast-paced D-type personalities, they might make the decision quicker. And we do get some of those people, but most of the people we deal with are a bit slower, need a lot of reassurance. And if we hit them with too much about all the other stuff it can do, it'll probably just derail the whole sales process. So all we talk about is what is the problem they've got and can we solve it? And in the market that I deal with, the automotive industry, the problem they've got in that collision repair is not leads. Okay, and that's one of the things that I actually love about it, because I've been in the digital marketing game for a long time. People that are expecting you to generate leads for them every week are holding you accountable or expecting something from you. When you're solving a problem, so long as that problem is being solved at whatever level, they're happy. So to me, it's one of the reasons I think that industry is good. I'm a panel beater by trade. I've been involved in the industry for a long time, so I have a lot of contacts. That helps. But, we're still doing marketing to people that wouldn't have a clue who I am or what I've done in the past. And the sales process is just as effective. So once you find out what the problem is, then you can go to them with the solution. So if I show you actually the ad, let me do that. I did open the ad library up. Where is it? Thought I did. It's probably in one of these screens. Where is it? Let's go to this one here. Here it is. Okay. Can you guys see those ads? How do I go see
Yep.
ad? Doesn't show much, does it? Anyway, it's very, oh, there we go. There's the ad copy. So it's very, very simple copy. Phone's ringing all day, same questions, same interruptions, same distractions. That's Smash Repair Shop Life. Our AI reception answers the calls for you. Handles inquiries, books quotes, available 24/7. No sales pitch, just here at work. Click below to learn more or call our demo agent right now. Now, about 50% call this number and have a conversation. Of course, once they call that, we've got their details. So it creates an opportunity in the CRM. And the rest will hit the form, that which just opens up a form and it grabs all their details. This is a video of a customer on his own Facebook page demoing his brand new AI agent with extreme excitement. Okay. I would always suggest if you can get your customers to show your potential customers how good your product is, that is always going to be better than you telling your customers how good your product is. And this guy, he looks like a smash repairer. He's got tats. He swears in the video. So, he's very relatable, much more relatable than any of us would be or any AI video. So this is the video that works really well for us. And if you want to see this video and watch what it is, you can go to my landing page or my website, which is digisynchro.com/smash repair. I'll stick it into because this will also answer the question about how we package our prices. I'll put this into the chat. That video is also on this page. And we obviously asked him for permission. We didn't ask him to make the video, by the way. He just made the video on his social media. We said, that's brilliant. Let's get onto this guy. I didn't know him previously. He was one of the contacts that just came from our Facebook ad. And I said, do you mind if we use your video for our marketing? And he was like, go for it. So, it has been great. It has got, I don't know how many likes and comments on the actual ad, but it's got heaps. It's a really, really engaging ad. So have a look at it. The other thing that we use is these are just Zoom calls with a couple of customers talking about the benefits of the AI. So once again, some social proof is really important with I think with just about any industry. So that sort of gives you a bit of an insight into that. But yeah, feel free to go to my website. On that website side also is our plans and pricing. So you get a bit of a feel for how we price our products. The one we sell the most is the top product, but we answer all calls, which means that if you don't have unlimited AI, it can get a bit expensive. And we include a fair bit of credit in that as well. So we have monthly credit in the top two tiers. The bottom one is purely pay as you go. So they pay $197 a month. Every plan has a $6.99 setup fee. And then we have a pay as you go on each of the plans. Even on the top one, there's still pay as you go. There's just credit that covers a fair bit in the beginning. The pay as you go is 3 times or 4 times more expensive, I can't remember now, on the base one than it is on the top one. So we just, we make our profit out of the usage. The only reason we developed that was I was coming across smaller businesses that were like, oh, I just can't afford that or justify that. We'll probably raise the price of the bottom one, to be honest with you, because we're getting better at helping people understand the value of what we do. I spoke to a customer yesterday who's had it for a year. I'm going down to Hobart, actually. I'm going to Tassie next week, Jarryd. Make sure it's warm. I've been invited to speak down there on AI at a collision repair conference, and I've got a client going, and he's agreed to get up on stage. And what he told me about the value that he's got out of it just keeps blowing my mind. How much value they get out of this, like it's worth probably $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month to them, because it just allows them to do so much more. He's doubled his sales in the last year and hasn't had to put anybody else on to handle the call volume. So what's that worth to a business? It's pretty incredible. Michael says go weekly. Oh, that's a good idea. Like a weekly payment. Could do that. We go monthly, maybe weekly would be better. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Why weekly? That's a good one.
Give them the option, but what we found is our lower mid-plan stuff, which is about the same pricing as your mid-plan, we found that people wanted it, but were a little bit hesitant in regards to that monthly bill. We've gone weekly with subscription, still SaaS plan. We just changed it to a weekly billing. Um, and we're charging $100 USD a week. And we do not have literally any pushback at all. It's easier than selling the monthly, and there's obviously extra weeks in the year compared to the months as well. So it works out better for us. It's easier for them to manage cash flow wise.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just an easier close, but
You're using,
also from a business point of view, that we're starting to see like the surety of weekly income coming through. We're not having as many spikes throughout the month.
yeah, that's handy. Are you using Stripe?
Yep.
Because you get transaction fees plus percentage, don't you? Like,
Yep. So that's why they can either choose go $100 a week or $90, or it'll be like 397. Oh, sorry, $100 US a week or 375 a month.
yeah, right. Yeah,
So
okay.
we give them the option, but most people are just going weekly. It's just easier for them.
Cool.
It's
I'll
only an
try that.
extra 30 cents a week if they go weekly, really, because you're still going to get the 1.7%, whether it's weekly, whether
Yeah.
it's monthly.
Yeah.
So if it's going to get a client off across the line for the sake of 30 cents, I know I'd take it.
Yeah, I can tell you now, like we just changed the wording with all of our marketing from $100 a week. And, I sent one email out, and on one email, we signed up like 30, 40 clients from the one
Nice.
email. So, yeah,
I
might be
find
worth looking at.
in this industry, the good thing with the collision repair industry as well, for me, and you got to pick your own niche, but most businesses are doing $2+ million a year. So we don't get a lot of pushback. It's only the small businesses. Typically, they'll pay annually. Because they get the 2 months free. So we basically say you can go by the month or go annual, where you buy 10, get 2 months free. The difference on our agreements is monthly is a minimum 90 days, annual is a minimum 12 months, and then it renews on a 12-month cycle. But yeah, I'll have a look at the weekly. Hadn't thought about that. Wouldn't be hard just to add another option in here, would it? So, and just make it so they cover the fees anyway. Yeah, cool. That's why I love this group. See, every day's a school day. Yeah. So nobody wakes up wanting voice AI. Think about the problem that your customer's having and work out how to overcome that problem. I did share actually, didn't I, my missed call calculator, I think last week. I'll just share that again for anyone that missed it. This is why this is built, because if lost calls is something, or missed calls is costing people sales, this straight away will validate to them why they should invest in some technology to stop that from happening. And, some people, that's the conversation we have. If they're not in that industry, I just say, well, and I always start a sales call with those questions. What is it that piqued your interest about voice AI? And I'll say, have you looked anywhere else at voice AI products? Is it just us so far? Is this a now thing? Is the next question I ask, because I want to know how urgent it is. And if they say, yes, it's a now thing, I say, why? And they might say someone's just left, or we've just picked up this new work, or, I've got to go away on holiday. So if you can find out an urgent reason, it's obviously easier to convert somebody. So it's all about asking the right questions at the front. Once I get to that point, I then say, if they say, it's a now thing and they've looked at some stuff, I say, what else have you looked at? If they say they haven't looked at anything else, then I definitely do not focus on that. I would then say something like, how many calls a day are you getting? Who has to answer the calls? What happens if that person's on the phone? What happens if, that person's away sick or on holidays? Who has to answer the phone then? Are they typically doing something more important? Are they getting interrupted? What does that interruption cost? So all of these questions, I just ask heaps of open-ended questions. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just build up a case, essentially, because what I want to do is do what I call the read back. And I don't know, I'm a pilot. I've been a pilot for a long time. We have to read back every instruction from a control tower so they know that we've got it clear. The same thing we should do in sales is we read back what we understand from the prospect, so your prospect knows you've got it clear. So I'll just read back and say, so you're looking at voice AI because someone left your business last week. You're getting 30 calls a day. Currently, you're answering them. When you can't answer them, goes to your team. That's causing a chaos, interruptions, and that's costing you money. And you think it's costing you, it could be costing you upwards of $2,000 or $3,000 a week. Have I got that right? And then they'll go, yes. And so by them saying that, now they've said it. If I say that's their problem, they can argue with me. If they say it, it's true, which is what's in that book Jarryd's reading or read, hopefully. So that's essentially how I do the whole sales meeting. Now, once they say, yeah, I can see value in it. So the next thing I would say to you is, so would it be worthwhile looking at a system that will prevent that from happening? And if we can solve that problem, would it be worthwhile spending, $500 to $1,000 a month to fix it? And once they say yes to that, well, then I go, great. Well, let me show you this. Let me show you, or I might say something. If they say it's costing them $5,000 a month, I'll say, great, because what I'm going to show you is nowhere near $5,000 a month to invest in, but it will fix that problem. Would you like to take a look at it? And then what I do is I just show them the voice AI part. I literally just log in to my demo account. I show them the AI agent. I show them how it takes calls, how it has summaries, transcripts, and I just start answering their questions. Because there's always heaps of questions, and everyone has different questions. So I think we've logged about, I don't know, 50 different frequently asked questions now in our internal sales cheat sheet. But yeah, everyone's got different questions. So once I do that, I then walk through what happens. So as I said, what happens when a customer rings? What do they ask? What are they looking for? Are they wanting to book in for a quote? Are they wanting to get an update on something? Are they wanting to make a payment? So try and get what the use case is, so you can sort of work out whether or not it's even possible. Because some people will hit you with stuff that is probably too difficult to make happen. And I think a lot of people that have tried selling the voice AI, and this is one thing we've learned the hard way, just because we've got it right for one industry doesn't mean we can do it for another industry easily. And it can be very time consuming for some industries with what they expect to the AI to do. It does have limitations, and I always tell people that it has limitations. It's not perfect. But I always go, well, what's the journey now? And I said, forget about AI for a second. What does the human being do right now when the phone rings? How long does it take them to ring it? Once they answer it, what are they doing? Are they triaging the call? Are they solving the problem? Are they forwarding the call on? Are they sending out information? What is they doing? Because then I can start to go, yep, we can definitely help you to solve that if it's something that I know is easy. And it's, there's so much we can do with an AI employee. It's incredible, really. The biggest limitation is third-party software. Because if you think about humans will, they'll access software mechanically, like with their fingers and their eyes. With tech, we have to be able to access the database through APIs and things, and not everyone has that ability. Not every piece of software. Jarryd, do you use the native GHL? I use the native GHL. That's what we use. That's all we've ever used. And I think sometimes techie people, which I sort of put myself into, I love the tech stuff, get a bit hung up on how well something works. And the GHL stuff was quite clunky in the beginning, but it actually doesn't matter how well it works. In our eyes, it's how well it works in the customer's eyes. And, if they're happy with it, then I'm happy with it. So I have been tempted to go outside of GHL prior, because I thought there were some things that it was lacking compared to the competitors, even with the chat bots, right? I hear about the close bots and whatever, and I've been tempted, but I haven't bothered, because I go, you know what, whilst it's something that I think I would benefit from and love, my customers, they just need the basics. Okay, so as long as they get the basics, and I'm not saying closebot's not great, it's probably fantastic and 10 times better than what GHL has, but if the customer doesn't need the best, it's no good, providing them with a Ferrari when they just need a Hyundai, right? So you just give them what they need, because we're just solving the problem. They don't care about the tech. I always say, if you've got a blocked toilet and you ring the plumber, are you asking them what model of toilet unblocking equipment they're using? Never. You're just saying, you don't care if they strap the neighbor's cat to a pole and plunge it down your toilet, so long as it's unblocked, right? So I don't think they care about what we use to solve the problem. They just want this problem solved, is the way my brain works. So this is just all around the questions that I ask. You'll all find you'd pay extra for the cat option. Yeah, me too. To find the pain, you've really just got to ask a lot of open-ended questions, and maybe one day I'll do my sales training condensed down into an hour. I have a whole one-day sales course I used to trade people with. But the key with sales is really just asking heaps of questions and then listening, right? You just got to listen. And your prospects will tell you why they're going to buy from you. And it doesn't matter whether it's voice AI or anything. If you just ask heaps of open-ended questions, you will find out what the problem is or what the pain is. And no one's going to buy something typically unless it's going to solve a problem. And if they do, they won't continue to pay you if it doesn't solve a problem, because no one wants to just have money going out the door for nothing. So you need to know what the problem is and make sure that you can solve it, and you can solve it quickly. And so we typically solve the problem. We get our agents live usually within 10 business days. Everything's set up, done the Reg 2 bundle, we've done whatever ATP, whatever it is called. We do the, all their call forwarding, we've got their phone system, we get their head around that. We got all their notifications set up, all their workflows, 7 to 10 days and they're live. So that way they're not waiting around too long. Anytime we've left it longer than that, people get frustrating. We have had the odd time where people don't get their stuff back to us before the second payment if they're on monthly, and the second payment comes out and they have a hissy fit because now they're paying for something they're not using, even though it's not our fault, right? So we really drive hard to get it set up very, very quickly. With the same niche, are you finding the same integrations are coming up? Yes. So in the beginning, we had in fact, somebody that I know quite well, he has the main software in the whole industry. He's got about 2,000 body shops using his software. And in the beginning, he gave us an API. He didn't have an open API, but he gave us an API connection and said, yep, use this. Unfortunately, this year, he has seen the success that we've been having selling the AI. He also has some AI built into his software, and he's now stopping us from doing it, which is interesting. So that's another thing you've got to watch out with niches and make sure you've got, not too many things in one basket. We are building integrations with other software providers in the industry. It's taken a bit longer, but we've got a couple just about to launch. And we've also now partnered with the 2 major software companies in the mechanical industry that have workshop management software. I actually think that's one of the best ways to go, is find an industry that has unique software and work out how to build an API with that software so you can do what the humans do, because that's really what you've got to be able to do. And is it part of the package? So if they're on the Pro AI, we included it because it was an ongoing thing. If it was not, if it was outside of that industry, then we charge for any integrations, and it starts at $1,500 plus GST and goes up depending on what the complexity of it is. So yes, I do charge, and it's if it's a recurring integration, then I'll just package it, because then I only have to pay for it the once, and then I can sell it over and over again. So for example, we're now working in the towing industry, and we have built-in integration with Google Maps API to be able to give customers quotes. So we can send out payment links and take a payment before they send a tow truck driver. So that's all coming together nicely. And I'll talk about my team shortly as well, if somebody did want to know about that, but I do have a software engineer on my team that builds out all this stuff as well. So, because it's very costly if you don't have someone internally to do it. Brett's asking, just Australia or gone international? We do have some in New Zealand. Emily will be happy about that. Not many, just a couple, mostly in Australia at the moment. We're only advertising in Australia. We will go international eventually, but we haven't had the need to yet. So it's easy. Cool. Is that all the questions? Yep, cool. So find the pain is really important. Sell the outcome, not the agent. I think I've banged on about that enough. I think I love these images it comes up with. Some new ones. New Zealand isn't really international, is it? No, Brett, not really. Even though we need our passports to go there. Or we don't need our passports, or we do need a passport. I can't remember. Anyway. Now, the next thing I'd say is that before jumping on doing a demo, I've actually really resisted recording a generic demo. I'm going to do it because I think it'll help my salespeople. But I think when you do a demo one-on-one with a customer and you understand what their challenge is, what type of calls they get, what their customers are asking, and you can show them how that would work in their business, you'll really, get some runs on the board. So I have also got a couple of customers that have given me permission to share their sub accounts in demos live. And that is a cool way to demonstrate it. So I can actually jump into that account, share the screen live. We can even see live calls coming in most of these accounts, because some of my clients that we're answering, I think last month we answered, well, no, I don't think I know, we answered 16,325 calls in July. And that goes up every month. So some of these clients, they're getting 20 calls an hour, some of them. So I can jump into an account and live calls can be coming in. I can see what actions they're triggering, and I can say to the client, well, let's have a look at this one. This one's a tow request, or this one's an update request, or this one's and so I can show them, because it's the same industry, they can see how it's working in another business. And that, I think that is one of the keys to converting, is that we're not just telling them, we're showing them how it's working in a business in the same industry. So, even if you can get, somebody that's in an industry that might be your first one, you might do a deal for them. Our first 10, we did a deal for to get them on, but they all had agreed that they got that deal to do testimonial videos, Zoom interviews, Google reviews, and become, like demo accounts. So they all agreed to that in the beginning. Not all of them did. Some of them, got a bit shy when the time came to jump on Zoom or whatever, but enough of them did that it meant we had all this, marketing collateral to help us sell. Try and make your demos relevant to the industry, the person, the business, or the problem. Okay. Don't just generically go off on a tangent about how good your stuff is. So I don't think that's going to help either. The other thing is, don't talk too much. I think that in sales, it's easy for people to talk a lot. I remember years ago when I did some sales training, I then went to sign a guy up. I went and did a sales meeting with this guy. And anyway, I asked him for the sale, and then he was silent. And then I said something else, and then he was silent. And then I said something. He said, if you just shut up, you'd allow me the time to think and then buy from you. And he was playing with me, right? Because I was selling him coaching back then. It was in the early days of being a business coach. And he was testing me to see, did I understand how to sell? And we still laugh about this today. We're still good mates. But, when you ask for the sale, just wait. Sometimes people need to process stuff in their head, all the stuff that's gone on, and think about it. And then, once again, just ask questions. It's no good telling people all the stuff that It's not a game of proving how smart you are in sales. It's a game of understanding your business, the business of the person you're talking to, and being empathetic with their issues, which is really important. The other thing I do is I don't ever sell replacing a person. In the beginning, we had a very valuable lesson. I had a very entrepreneurial guy that owned 4 workshops, because that's the other thing that happens for me is quite often we sell one person, but we get multiple workshops. So, our biggest client has 16 shops. So that's 16 agents from one meeting. But in the beginning, I remember this guy had 4 shops. He was really excited. He was about to go overseas on a 2-month holiday to Europe, typical entrepreneur. So he just bought it. Said, yep, let's get it going. Told his manager about it. Well, his manager hadn't bought into it. And then the lady who was running the reception, which was sort of like an office manager, thought it was going to mean she was going to lose her job. And so they never really cooperated getting it set up. They got it set up, but they didn't set it up the way we suggested they should set it up. It was very clunky, and all they did was complain about it. And in the end, the guy was overseas. He just said to them, look, you'll have to wait till I get back. And then when he got back, he cancelled. It's one of 3 cancellations we've had since we started doing this. 3. That's all we've had. The other 2 cancellations, one of them never even got started. They had some stuff going on in their life, and the other one got started, and they didn't. In the end, that didn't fit what they wanted to do, so they cancelled. But that's how good this is. Like, that's a very, very small attrition rate. I hear about a lot of churn rate in SaaS. We don't get churn at all. But I call it SWAS. Like, we're all over our clients. We help them and we service them. Two-face vibe. Where was that? Is that in a previous photo? Was it? Did I miss that?
One before that.
One?
Go back. One more. That one. Look at his suit. Two-face. From the 90s, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, got it. Should have seen, I had to tell it to change this photo. The previous photo, the guy in the middle had 3 arms. So that's probably why it's now 2 colors. Anyway. So I don't talk about replacing people. I always talk about using AI as a tool to help their people do a better job. What's the next one? Tanya, are you managing your own support internally, or are you outsourcing it? 50-50. So when it comes to the voice AI, we pretty much manage it all in-house. With the generic stuff with GHL, if they're using things like email marketing or social media scheduling or whatever, and our onboarding is all done by Growthable. And that works really well for us. Growthable handles the upfront stuff, which is quite time consuming, getting them set up, whatever they got to do. I don't even know what they do, but they get it set up. It doesn't involve me. So I'm happy. And then after that, we have what we call premium support in our top tier, which means that people can talk directly to our client success manager via email or call her. Anyone on the lower two plans we have support in our menu, and they just click that in and they can access training that we've done, the knowledge base that Growthable provides, or the chat that Growthable provides, or they can submit a ticket, which our team get. So yeah, that's how we do that. Do you charge for the build of the additional agents? Yeah, so every agent we have additional fees for. So we have one called a missed call bot, which essentially is just voicemail. So a lot of people will ask what happens if it transfers a call to somebody and they're not at their desk to pick up. So we have to educate them and say, well, what do you do now? Now it goes back to the receptionist. Okay, so that's one of the limitations of HighLevel Voice AI is you can't send the call back to the original agent. So what we say to them is we say, if you have a modern phone system, turn the voicemail on, it transcribes and emails it to the team anyway. If you don't want to do that, we can send it to another agent that sounds exactly the same as the first one, but it's not the first one. It's another one that just says, sorry, they're not available right now. I need to take a message. The problem with that is that second agent has no context of the first agent. So it's a little bit clunky, but the people that use it love it. We only charge $100 a month extra for that one because it's just copy and paste a prompt. The other agent that we run, if we add additional agents on for the same business, it's another setup fee and $300 a month plus GST for the agent. Okay, if it's in the same sub account. If it's another workshop or another location that wants its own sub account, which quite often happens, then it's a whole new purchase. Yeah. But it comes with credits and everything as well. The credits don't get doubled for multiple agents. Only voice AI, other services. So we start off with voice AI. As we set the voice AI, we also set up the chat AI. So we put a chatbot on their website, SMS chat. We give them SMS as well, but they have an SMS chatbot, chatbots on Facebook Messenger, Instagram DM. And we slowly integrate things in for them, like their Google review management with AI replies. So stuff like that. Hopefully that answers that, Michael. But yeah, it's whatever they want to use, right? So if they want to use, the more you can get them using, the better. We've been running a campaign this month for a free website build. So we have templates inside of GHL that we've built. They get to choose one of the templates. It's a set number of pages. They've got to provide us with all the contents and images, and we build it. But the thing is, if they've got their website with you, and a lot of repairers don't have websites. They're so back in the dark ages. But once they've got a website, once again, it's just another thing that is going to make it hard for them to not get value from us, because if they stop their website as well. Do we give them access to their own accounts? Asked Brett. Yes, we do. Yep. So they all have a login. Most of them don't ever log in. Because they just use the voice AI. It's the ones that are more proactive and want to use other features will log in and have a look. Do I charge extra for the chatbots and SMS, Tara? So the chatbots, no, they're all part of the package. But the SMS, yes, we use, thank you to Tanya, we use Goody SMS. We've been working with them on building out some workflows and integrations, which everyone will benefit from eventually once they're done, where you can have a internal wallet inside of HighLevel for their SMS service, and no more phones. I love what the My CRM sim is, but having all those phones is a pain, absolute pain. And we ended up with about, 10 or 20 phones and went, that's enough. This is crazy. So we decided I needed to find another solution. We went back to using Twilio, which is expensive. And then Tanya introduced me to Goonie SMS, and that's been quite a good experience. It does have its limitations. It's not as, it's more of a SMS marketing tool, but it is fine for conversational SMS work, and it works absolutely brilliantly. If people want to do bulk SMS, it also allows that, but you have to charge them for it. And they have, the good thing with Goonie is you can mark it up and still make a margin on it, which we do. And so we charge a different rate depending on the levels. So it's 7 cents an SMS on the base level, 6 cents on the mid, 5.5 on the top. And the bottom level gets no credit, but the two mid levels get $30 credit, which is about 500 SMSs. So we try and make it so they're not seeing extra charges, because that was the other thing, is when you have extra charges all the time for other things, it starts freaking people out, especially in the first month. So we try to eliminate having any extra charges, and we give them money in their wallet for the first month straight up, so they don't have any other extra charges. What is the website for Guni? Yeah, it's GUNI. Just Google GUNI SMS and you'll find them. And you can tell them that we sent you. Yeah, GUNI. It integrates directly with HighLevel without any issues whatsoever. If you don't want to charge it, you want to include it, it's very easy to do. We've actually got them working on some integrations with us, so you can give your clients some credit, and then after that it charges to their wallet, and they'll just have to pay into their wallet like you do for GHL. What else did I miss a live demo like you would give a prospect that shows all this work? If not, would it be okay to join one of your demos one day as a silent observer? Not sure you understand all the features yet. There's lots and lots on YouTube. I probably wouldn't let anyone join one of my live demos. It's a sales meeting where I'm trying to get a sale. I'm happy to do a demo for everyone one day if you want to jump on one, and I can go through and actually do an internal demo. An affiliate link for Guni. I don't have one. Should I have one? I should have one. Who always has, was it Alok? He always has affiliate links. I'm not a very good affiliate. I'm good at referring business to people, but I actually don't like taking commissions for referring people. I'd rather I refer people for the value of what they deliver. So yeah, just speak to Nidhi over at Guni. She's fantastic. She'll look after you. You can tell her that I sent you, or Tanya sent you. That way she knows the community is looking after her. Don't fight with any objections either. Like, the thing I've learned about AI is you're going to get objections. I guarantee it. Things like customers won't talk to AI. What if it gets something wrong? My reception already does this. It's too expensive. You're going to get all those. You're going to get it like any product. What you've got to do is work out how to get the customer to overcome their own objections by asking the right questions. So, for example, if someone says, I don't think my customers would like to talk to AI, I would say something like, do you think your customers would like to sit on hold instead? Or, do you think your customers are getting the best experience if they can't talk to anyone because you're all busy on the phone? I'll just ask a follow-up question. And then they go, yeah, you're right. Maybe AI would be better. Okay. So if they say it, it's true. Just remember that. If they say, what if it gets something wrong? I say to them, do your humans ever get anything wrong? And they go, yep. And inside of the AI is a sentiment score. So I show them in the sentiment score inside of the sub account. And ours typically sits between 97% and 100%. And I say, do you think your staff would score that high? And they go, no. And I go, there, case closed, eh? Does that fix that one? It's too expensive. Once again, there's two things people might say to you. It's too expensive, or I can't afford it. It's too expensive means they don't see the value. I can't afford it means they don't have the money or don't see that they've got the money. I rarely get I can't afford it, and I rarely get it's too expensive, but it does come up from time to time. They're typically comparing it to other products, like the other ones you see marketed in mass online. Some of them are like $30 a month or $60 a month. The guy that the very first client I signed up that I interviewed that's going to be at this conference next week, he had signed up for an app for $30 US a month. It let him fill in 5 fields. That was it. A company name, company hours, address, website address, and one other thing. That was it. That's all it allowed him to do. And so it did nothing really, except it was a fancy voicemail. So yeah. Was there anything else? That's pretty much my process here. Discover what they want, quantify the problem, demonstrate how to fix it, validate that is the problem, build the case so they're going to want to pay for it, and then close the sale. And I always ask for the sale at the end of the demo, and 60% of the time people buy there and then. I've set up my sub account so I can send an order form directly from GHL. I don't know if you know that you can do that. Let me just get this and jump into mine quickly. But in a contact, if I just quickly go into me as a demo. I'll be in here as Ben Smith probably. No, I'm not. Let's go to my contact record. I'm in there as Joe Blogs. There you go. So in our system, what we've done is we've got client send order options, and then this just makes it easy. So this is our smash repair. Our company's called DigiSynchro. So if we want to send the order form, I just click that. It'll send the order form. I say to them, have you got that in your inbox? There's two buttons, monthly or annual. I say, pick the one you want. I go through the terms and conditions with them, the service charges, put their credit card in, get them to process. I get the confirmation they've paid, and it's done there on the phone. That is the best way to sell. If they, for some reason, they can't make the decision on the phone, you just got to say what's stopping you, and then, work through that with them. So you can then book a follow-up meeting. You always want to book a meeting from a meeting. I don't know if you've heard that saying before. Never, ever leave a meeting without booking the next one, saying, oh, I'll follow you up next week. Always book a meeting for the next meeting in. Bam, fam. That's it. Tim knows it. Bam, fam. So that's pretty much it. I'll take any questions or anything. Can you explain the greeting thing you talked about the other day with custom values? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Going to my demo account. Actually, not two. What do you think? There we go. This is our sub account we use for snapshots for smash repair. So I'll show you this. So what we do with the AI agents to make it so it's easy to duplicate is in all of the and everything we use custom values. So you can see all the custom values in here. That's the blue stuff. Okay, these are all custom values. In any of the actions that we build, we use custom values. So this is a fully built out voice AI agent for a smash repair business. You can see all the actions that are in here: part supplier, angry customer, live transfers, called returns, an estimate or repair booking request, job status, tow request, mechanical inquiry, parts and supplies, insurance assessors. So we've built out all the actions for that industry. Then what we do is with our custom values, we have got all of these things set as custom values. So you'll see them, that's all the internal notifications. So it's easy then for a customer, if they want to update where an email or SMS gets sent after a call happens, because remember, they're not all accessing this. It's easy for a customer to be able to come in here and update this. And you can say, just go into the notification contacts, and then you can just update who the email goes to for an estimate or repair booking request, or who the email SMS goes to for a mechanical inquiry. So it allows them to control, because they're just updating and they're not touching the prompt. The last thing you want is customers touching the prompts and the actions, because they'll screw it up and then you'll have to spend time trying to work out what they did. So yeah. What else have we got here is in the greeting itself when it answers the phone. Yeah, we have a greeting for that as well. Is that what you're asking, Brett? So if I go to here, you'll see there'll be a greeting here somewhere. Is it in here? Doesn't look like it's been.
So Ben, when we talked the other day, you're putting that custom field in the greeting line. I didn't think we could put that stuff in there. I haven't tried it since we talked.
Yeah. I'll show you.
Okay.
So here's the voice AI greeting as a custom field, custom values. You can see here, good afternoon. Thanks for calling Demo Smash Repairs. This is Billy Joe. How are you today? So that's what's in there currently. Now that changes based on a workflow. So what you'll notice, see how it says good afternoon? There's no time-based greeting in the AI agents. And I've spoken to HighLevel about changing it, because the prompt, you can put whatever you like in the prompt. The first line the bot says tells the bot what's going on. We work this out the hard way. So you need the bot to say, sorry, we are closed right now, but I can still talk to you, for the prompt to actually pick up that they're closed. Because it can, if it's not prompted well, it'll just go off and pretend it's open and start transferring calls to people that aren't at work. So what we do is we actually have a custom value baked in, and I'll show you, Tim. Sorry, Brett, was it? Brett? We're going to the agent. We're going to give me a name. He doesn't have a name yet, this one. Down here, you see the greeting. Custom values voice AI greeting. Okay, that's what's in the greeting box. So whatever that value is, then what we do is we have a workflow that updates that greeting. So in our workflows, we have a workflow called, and we hide this from customers, they can't see this. This is the greeting custom values, and it is always running. And basically what it does is it waits for, so their open hours, their closed hours, and updates the custom values. So this one here, for example, as soon as they're open, we'll say good morning and thanks for calling. And then you'll see the custom values are in the new value. Thanks for calling this business. This is, and that's the bot's name. How can I help you today? In the afternoon, that updates again to good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Okay. When they're closed, it updates the custom value. Says, thanks for calling this business. And it will say, if I can get in there, we are currently closed. I can take a message to pass on when we reopen. What can I help you with today? Then when they, for business, like Christmas closures and stuff, we actually have another link. It's not in the demo account, but in the live sub accounts, they actually have a menu item to update their business closures. So if they're closed over Christmas or at Easter, or they've got a public holiday in their state, because we, as you can see, the business holidays here, we got caught a few times because we weren't on top of what every state's public holidays were. So we thought, let's get that off of our being accountable for that and pass that on to the customer. So we get them to fill in a form. So they pretty much just click on a menu item, it opens a form, and they update their, we're closed from this date to this date. And then it updates the custom values. So the bot then knows that they're closed over a period of time. You're welcome, Brett. Any other questions? Hit me with any questions you got. Hopefully I answered most of them.
Just got two above, mate. So we got Brett asking, did I just see that they brought in a gap analysis in voice AI in the last couple of days? So if they ask a question and the AI can't answer it, it puts it in the gap database. Have you started using this?
No. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, I think I seen this on the weekend, Brett, when I was looking at our own. And it basically just been compiling them all and set them to the side. And then you got to choose what made sense and what didn't. The thing that I noticed doing that is I just made sure, are they relevant and like to our business and what we're doing, or were they just stupid questions? And if it's mega relevant, I then make sure that the knowledge base, which we use just a live Google Doc for our knowledge base, so that we can add things in there and just get it to keep reading it. That's how we kind of navigated that when we're going through the ones that we had sitting in our queue for a few clients. Just going, one, are they relevant to the business? And two, if they are, work them into the knowledge base that we've built out, if that helps.
I find the life cycle of a new feature in GHL has a pattern. And so I usually wait. And the pattern is they get the beta testers to run it. They then put it in the labs. They then set it live. You then watch 15 or 20 people complain about it in the high level community. It then gets fixed about a month or 2 months later, and then it's ready to use. That's sort of, and it is, I'm serious. That's what I've noticed happen. So I rarely grab something that's brand new and just use it. We are testing the speech to speech voices at the moment, but they're not ready. And they're not things that we have control over. It'll be, and they have to release them live and get some early adopters using them to find out what the problems are going to be. But we're not ready to unleash it across all of our sub accounts because it'll just be mayhem. So like I said, we want things to be perfect. Customers, if they're happy, they're happy.
And I think this time of year as well, as it gets closer to the Dallas event, there's like weird and wonderful things that start to happen inside the system. And you're like, what's going on there? And it's because they're tinkering and getting stuff ready to launch for the event.
Yeah.
Launch, and then there's fixing for a couple of months after that. And then you start seeing a bit more of a, common pattern of things starting to level out again. That's what I see anyway. Mate, I asked a question on there about what it looked like for onboarding people. Mainly because, as I mentioned, my setup with the knowledge base, I know that people like Walt and Johan had an onboarding process for their 4-bot system, and they more or less just had an agent that someone would go to on a website, hit it, it would ask a series of questions, drop it in the back end, and they go and fulfill it. I was just curious to get a bit more understanding on what your onboarding process looks like. I know you mentioned Growthable. as helping set some things up. But what did that kind of look like to get the agents right?
Yeah, that's a good question. So with the agents, we don't use them at all, particularly with this industry. So we have a questionnaire that we send out, which is an online questionnaire, and it takes them through all the different scenarios that we have preset in here. So all of those scenarios that we have set up already, like for example, we say to them, when you get someone rings up, like, do you have mechanical? Yes or no? If it says yes, we say, well, when someone rings up for mechanical, who do you want that call transferred to? Well, do you want that call transferred, or do you want the bot to take the details, book someone? What do you want the bot to do? And then if it's transferring to someone, who are we transferring it to? What's their unique number for their phone handset or their line? What's their email address if you want us to notify them by email? And what's their mobile number if you want to? So we're basically a questionnaire that asks all the questions about their business. It's probably not the best process, but it's quite a big beast to get all that information from a client easily. So that's how we've done it, and we keep evolving it. But yeah, essentially that's what we do. So after they do the onboarding with Growthful, they then get sent another email with a link to that form, and they have to go through and they have to fill that form in. And then we're currently working out how do we make it so instead of us updating custom values, that form updates the custom values. But because they're not always 100% certain in the information they're giving us is what they're going to end up with, we're still doing it a bit manually. We use ClickUp. We load it all into ClickUp through that form. We have a VA in the Philippines who then goes and sets it all up. So it's still, I suppose, probably takes her an hour or two to do that, but it's still fairly systemized now, which is good.
Yeah. It sounds like it. It looks really dialed in. Like I know a few people are saying how great this is, but just the way you've got it set up, it just looks like it's set up in a way where it's really running itself.
Yeah. And that was, I think, and that, like I said, the thing that we learned the hard way was when you go outside of your niche, you can't use everything that you've set up for that niche because you've got a completely new business and the workload is much higher. So, we have sold outside of the niche because we want to look at other niches and start building into those niches. But their niches, when someone comes to me and we're not in their niche, I typically, if I can't see myself being able to grow in that vertical, I won't take that client on. I'll just say, sorry, we specialize in this niche. And right now it is mechanical towing and auto repairs because they all have similar problems. Towing doesn't. Towing not so much. Towing is more about not missing calls. But mechanical and collision repairs has the same problem where people are ringing up saying, "When's my car going to be ready?" and stuff like that. So,
Fred asked a question, mate. I don't know how to position this one, but I'm just going to go processing the bundle application.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I'll give you a clue of how. If you're in Australia, Fred, is that what you're looking for Australian businesses?
Go off mute. Yeah, it is. Yep. Predominantly
Yep.
Australia.
So all we do now for the A2P, it's dead simple, is we make the client buy the $10 ASIC long doc or whatever it is. There's a long doc. I don't even know what it's called, but it's $10. You upload that for everything, and the extract. Priya says, yeah, the long extract. So we just say, pay the $10, get the long extract. That's all you upload for every question, and you're done. And it works every time.
Okay. Thanks,
The
Ben.
main reason for people getting knocked back is they're using their business address as their registered address. That's the number one reason. Is where the ASIC document has the correct address on it. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah, no, amazing. Yeah, I'll give it a run, see what happens. Then I'll
don't even take any negotiation on that. Let me tell you from my lessons. Just say to the client, have you got your long ASIC extract? If they say no, you say it's $10, give them the link and say buy it. And you can't upload it for them. They've got to do it.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Growthable onboarding, what do they actually do? So they set everything up, connect all the social media accounts, the sending domains, any of that stuff, all the basic setup in the beginning. Business information, logos, connected Outlook accounts, Gmail accounts, Google ads, Facebook ads, Meta. They just connect everything up. Whatever the client's got, they connect up for us. So it's done. And then after that, they sit there as a support. So I don't know if you can see this little orange bubble down here. That is Growthable, not us. So 24/7, anyone can jump in here and talk to a live agent. Growthable also supplies the knowledge base, which is not in here. I'd have to go back into my account. But I believe it's just been updated, so I don't even know if I'll be able to see it. This will give you an idea. Get out of that for a second. Go into, come on. I'll go into my account. Internet's going slow. That is what Growthable will do, yes. Has support. Yeah, see this help and support. So this is what our clients see. It won't work because I'm part of the agency, but yeah. DigiBytes is our training. We do all these live fortnightly coaching and training sessions that I run. They're recorded, people come live, and then it gets put into basically a course in the HighLevel system. The knowledge base, so this is the Growthable system, but it's not there at the moment. And then lodge a support ticket. So that's how we provide support to our customers. And this is just like a subdomain set up inside of HighLevel. It's ugly, but it works.
Does work. That's really cool, mate. Really cool. Looking at questions here, mate. I've got one from Dooley. Away from bots, I'm always genuinely curious. What's the overall business goal for the next 6, 12, 24 months?
For me?
Yeah.
What is my business goal? I want to help 10,000 Australian businesses get comfortable using AI. So, 10,000 sub accounts. I don't know if I'll do that in 24 months, but that'd be pretty good. It's not my goal to do it in 24. It's to do it in 5 years, and then sell it. Sell it for lots of big gorillas and live happily ever after in the other port.
Nice. I've got Annette here. I know I missed the beginning. Do you buy your client a landline or mobile number to run the voice AI? And if so, is this number put on their website?
Good question. So yes, we buy a landline with the Twilio numbers inside of HighLevel. We divert their phone to it. I'll do that deliberately because from a insurance purpose, you've got to be able to demonstrate that you can overcome any issues that could be considered business interruption. So if let's say the voice AI falls over tomorrow and doesn't work, and you've got 1,000 sub accounts that their main line is the actual number that's inside of HighLevel, then we're all in trouble. So I just say to clients as a security measure, we just divert your main line to the bot. No one ever needs to see that other number. And that way, if anything ever goes wrong, you just undivert your main line and you're answering your phones manually again whilst we fix it. It also helps with insurance, so it's easier to get insurance because you should all have some sort of insurance to protect yourselves, by the way. Because if you damage somebody's business because they can't answer the phones or the phones aren't getting answered or whatever, you could be liable. You could definitely be liable.
I've got a couple more questions left. I know we've gone over, guys. So Ben, I'll get you to blitz through these last couple. What market penetration in Australia do you have?
For collision repairers, about 5%. So I've got a long way to go. For mechanical and towing, I'll be under 1%. Yeah.
And then we got one more from Brett. Charge per sub account ?
Yeah, every sub account is a separate subscription. Yes.
Awesome. Dooley says he loves being paid in pesos, everyone.
Pesos, not gorillas.
Tara asked if you use a broker.
Yes, I do for insurances. Yeah, if anyone wants my broker, Patrick's amazing. I'm happy to refer you. I'm sure he'd be happy to it. I don't get any cuts, by the way. Like I said, I don't like taking commissions because then there's it's the wrong reason I'm referring people. That's why I'm not an affiliate for anything.
Brilliant. And then we've got Brett here giving you a lovely comment saying you've got too many tabs open.
Thank
Tara
you, Brett.
then said that she does the same. And we're at the end of it. Ben, mate, what an incredible hour it's been on here. Can we just get a bit of a thanks in the chat or light up with some emojis, guys? Because Ben has absolutely thrown in the kitchen sink with that. and shared what that looks like for him. And I just want to say how much I appreciate it, Ben, because I know that with High Level we try to focus really on the chat and the voice, and it's been really refreshing seeing how someone is doing it, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks so much for being able to share what you
My
did.
pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben. It's such an extensive setup you've got there. It's wonderful to see how you've done it. Thank you.
I'm glad it was helpful, because you never know, right? I don't know if I'm like still in kindergarten with what we do, or if are we in first grade, or because you don't see what other people are doing, right? So sometimes I'm a bit embarrassed and go, we still haven't got it right. Do you want me to, am I going to share this?
It's interesting because even the simple things, I know the frustration of the phone being answered, not knowing what time it is. And that's been a thing that's annoyed me. And then you've shown an incredible solution on how to handle that.
You know what? Last year in Dallas, we shared that with the tech team in that tech room, and they were like, "That's awesome. Why didn't we think of that?" You know, and I'm going, well, "Why don't you just build something in the background where we can put in open hours, close hours, and change the greeting for different times of the day?" So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know why they still haven't built it into it, but anyway.
Yeah. Guys, thank you all for coming along. We've got a speaker secured for next week. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but they're going to have to step up to the plate now that Ben's been on here. I say that, it's probably a Loke no, Michael Reamer's next month. I know because I had a quick look at that a few days ago. We've got some cool people coming in. We've got a Loke coming in. We've got Michael Reamer coming in. So watch your space. If there's other people that you'd like to see come along, or people that you think would be good coming in here, please do so. I had Leon reach out because I know we were talking about stream decks and camera setups and stuff like that last week. So he actually started an introduction with someone that he knew that handled that stuff. So there's things like this that all help. But apart from that, guys, happy hump day. Good to see you all, and we'll catch up next week.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, so there you have it. Ben has absolutely come in. He's crushed it, and he's shown you how he actually positions the voice agents, how he actually has his site set out, how he's even doing the simple things like knowing when an agent's taking a call in or outside of hours. That is just absolutely incredible. And so if you want to see the next video, I've created one which is called Build a Better Agent, and you're going to be able to see that on the side there. But apart from that, I'll see you on the next one.